Where did everything come from? Have you ever wondered how the world came to be? How did everything, from the smallest atom to the vast universe, come into existence? In the Bible, we find the remarkable answer to this question in the book of Genesis. The creation story is the foundational narrative that answers the mysteries of life and the origins of the world. It reveals the incredible process by which God created everything we see, and even things we cannot see. We live in a world full of beauty, complexity, and wonder. From the mountains to the oceans, from the stars above to the earth beneath, everything around us is part of God's creation. But how did it all begin? Was it by accident, or was there a higher power behind it? In the Bible, the creation story gives us a profound glimpse into how God designed the universe and how He continues to care for it today. In this video, we'll walk through the story of the creation day by day, from Genesis 1 through Genesis 2, 3, exploring the meaning and significance behind each step. Day 1, the creation of light. Let there be light. The Bible begins with one of the most profound statements in all of Scripture. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was formless, void, and covered in darkness. It was a place without shape, life, or color. But then, God's voice broke through the silence. Genesis 1:3 says, "And God said, 'Let there be light,' and there was light. With a single command, light appeared, shining into the darkness." This was not just any ordinary light. It was the beginning of creation itself. The light separated day from night, marking the beginning of time. The Bible tells us that God saw that the light was good. Genesis 1:4. But why was this moment so important? Before the creation of light, there was no time, no order, and no life. Light brought structure to the universe, allowing everything to begin. It was God's declaration of good and perfect creation, setting the stage for the subsequent days of creation. This day shows us something profound about God's nature. When He speaks, things change. His word has the power to create, to bring light out of darkness, and to bring order from chaos. It's a reminder that when God speaks into our lives, He can bring clarity and transformation. Day 2, the creation of the sky, separation of waters. On the second day, God focused on creating the atmosphere that would support life. He separated the waters, creating a vault or expanse to separate the waters above from the waters below. Genesis 1:6-8 says, "Let there be a vault between the waters to separate water from water." So God made the vault and separated the water under the vault from the water above it. And it was so. God called the vault sky, and there was evening and there was morning, the second day. The creation of the sky was essential for the continuation of life. The vault, or sky, would hold the clouds and provide space for air to breathe. Without this expanse, life would not be able to flourish on Earth. This day speaks of God's incredible wisdom in establishing balance. By separating the waters, He created the possibility for dry land to appear on the next day, and He also gave us the skies above, a symbol of freedom and space for life to thrive. This day also reminds us that God brings order to what is chaotic. What was once a mass of water, formless and empty, now had boundaries. The sky, a vast and expansive realm, would be the place for birds to fly, storms to pass, and the air to circulate. It's a visual representation of how God, through His creativity and authority, forms and shapes the world around us. Day 3, the creation of land, seas, and vegetation. On the third day, God continued His work by separating the waters from the dry land. He called the dry land earth, and the gathered waters seas. But it didn't stop there. God also commanded the earth to produce vegetation, plants, trees, and all kinds of plant life. Genesis 1:9-13 says, "And God said, 'Let the water under the sky be gathered to one place, and let dry ground appear.' And it was so. God called the dry ground land, and the gathered waters He called seas. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, 'Let the land produce vegetation, seed-bearing plants and trees on the land that bear fruit with seed in it according to their various kinds. And it was so. The land produced vegetation, plants bearing seed according to their kinds, and trees bearing fruit with seed in it according to their kinds. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening, and there was morning, the third day. With the earth now formed, the stage was set for life to emerge. God didn't just create barren land, He filled it with lush vegetation that would nourish the animals and humans to come. Trees and plants began to grow, with seeds inside them that would ensure life would continue. The earth became a living, breathing planet, full of potential and possibilities. This day reminds us of God's provision and care for creation. Just as He provided vegetation for the earth, He continues to provide for all His creatures, including us. This world we live in, with all its beauty and resources, is a gift from God. It's a reminder that creation is purposeful and intentional, designed to meet the needs of every living thing. Day 4, the creation of the sun, moon, and stars, marking time. On the fourth day, God made the sun, the moon, and the stars. These celestial bodies were not only sources of light, but they also served as markers for time, days, seasons, and years. Genesis 1:14-19 says, "And God said, let there be lights in the vault of the sky to separate the day from the night, and let them serve as signs to mark sacred times, and days, and years. And let them be lights in the vault of the sky to give light on the earth." And it was so. God made two great lights, the greater light to govern the day, and the lesser light to govern the night. He also made the stars. God set them in the vault of the sky to give light on the earth, to govern the day and the night, and to separate light from darkness. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening, and there was morning, the fourth day. The sun became the ruler of the day, bringing warmth and energy to sustain life, while the moon became the ruler of the night, offering light in the darkness. The stars, scattered across the heavens, served as signs of wonder and beauty. God's creation of the sun, moon, and stars reveals His attention to detail and His plan to bring order to the world. It's a reminder that everything in creation serves a purpose. The sun and moon were not only for our benefit, but they also pointed to something greater, the passage of time and the rhythm of life itself. Day 5, the creation of sea creatures and birds. On the fifth day, God created the creatures of the sea and the birds of the air. He filled the waters with every kind of fish and sea creature, and the skies with birds of every shape and color. Genesis 1:20-23 says, "And God said, let the water teem with living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth across the vault of the sky." So God created the great creatures of the sea and every living thing with which the water teems and that moves about in it, according to their kinds, and every winged bird according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. God blessed them and said, "Be fruitful and increase in number and fill the water in the seas, and let the birds increase on the earth." And there was evening, and there was morning, the fifth day. This day brought new life and diversity to the planet. The oceans were filled with vibrant marine life, and the skies became a sanctuary for countless birds. God's creativity was evident in the wide variety of species, each one unique yet perfectly designed for its environment. This day also shows the importance of reproduction and multiplication in creation. God blessed the creatures, commanding them to be fruitful and fill the earth. It was a command to continue the cycle of life, ensuring that creation would continue and flourish. Day 6, the creation of land, animals, and humans. On the sixth day, God made land animals of every kind, livestock, wild animals, and creatures that creep upon the earth. But the pinnacle of His creation was mankind. Genesis 1:24-31 says, "And God said, let the land produce living creatures according to their kinds, the livestock, the creatures that move along the ground, and the wild animals, each according to its kind." And it was so. God made the wild animals according to their kinds, the livestock according to their kinds, and all the creatures that move along the ground according to their kinds. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, "Let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness, so that they may rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, over the livestock and all the wild animals, and over all the creatures that move along the ground." God created mankind in his own image. Male and female, he created them. He blessed them and gave them dominion over the earth, commanding them to be fruitful, multiply, and fill the earth. This moment marks the beginning of humanity's special relationship with God. We were created in his image, reflecting his creativity, wisdom, and love. Our role was to steward the earth, care for the animals, and build a society that honors God's design. We were created to be his representatives on earth. Day 7, God rested, the Sabbath. On the seventh day, God rested from his work. But this wasn't because he was tired. It was because his creation was complete. Genesis 2:2-3 says, "By the seventh day, God had finished the work he had been doing. So on the seventh day, he rested from all his work. Then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it he rested from all the work of creating that he had done." The Sabbath became a holy day, a day to rest and reflect on God's goodness. It was a day for us to stop, take a breath, and remember the perfection of creation. It's a reminder that in our busy lives, we need to pause and reflect on God's work in our lives. The creation story is not just about how the world came to be. It's about how God designed everything with purpose and intentionality. From the light to the land, from the seas to the animals, every part of creation was crafted by God's hands to work together in harmony. As you watch the world around you, remember that it was made by God for a purpose. We are part of that creation, created in his image to care for the earth and reflect his goodness. If you found this video inspiring, don't forget to share it with your friends and family, and be sure to follow for more Bible stories and teachings that will help you discover God's incredible plan for you. Let's explore more of his word together.